Oh yeah, it's your boy Livewire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, baby. Oh man, I'm full. I just ate. I'm good now. Boy was running on eat because I ain't had nothing to fucking eat. But I'm back in this motherfucker. What's going on? So, obviously, the big news of yesterday was Crackdown 3 got delayed. Fuck me. God damn it. I really wanted to play this game, y'all. I really wanted to play this game. I've been hyped for Crackdown for a minute, and it's a disappointment. It's a disappointment that the game isn't coming this holiday. But people that were part of the bandwagon of saying Crackdown look like shit, they get what they want. Sort of. Sort of. You know, a lot of people complained about Crackdown's visuals. Crackdown looks like shit. Crackdown, doesn't look ready. It looks like a Xbox 360 game. All kinds of bullshit, right? So, some things I could agree on. The trailer, not impressive. I'm just saying. What's going on, Halo Storm? Kurt Johnson, what's good? The trailer, not impressive. Right? The gameplay itself actually looked better than the actual E3 trailer. How did they do that? I don't fucking know, but they did. Right? But yet again, the haters get what they want. Microsoft basically had their hand forced on this one because people said that the media complained about it. Gamers complained about it. You got gamers that don't even give a fuck about Crackdown complaining about it. Whatever, but they complained about it. So Microsoft, they kind of had a catch-22, and the reason why I say it is this: on one hand, you got Crackdown, that is a title you're trying to make a staple, right? You don't want it to fail, right? You wanted to push it to the holiday with the X to get the holiday sales. But right now, you got to combat the criticism that Crackdown's getting. So that's not good. All right. You got 2 months to do it. Yes, they could use Gamescom to do it. But then again, the thing they're looking at is the game going to look better? Because if the game doesn't look any better than E3, those people still going to complain, right? And then two, you're going to have it where you have other games that are coming out during that holiday, and then people have to make choices. And we know, just based on the climate of gaming in general, people go for visuals first. It's not to say that that's right or wrong. It is what it is. Whatever looks better, people go for it. And the other thing is, you got PUBG, which is becoming even more popular as the weeks progress. So you got one game that you got to in Crackdown that you got to basically prop up and try to gain hype and momentum, and then you got a game like PUBG that already has hype and momentum, and Microsoft is probably looking at the two like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's hold Crackdown, polish this bitch, and bring it out in the spring. People will be upset. True, but we could deal with that. Microsoft's probably looking at, we'd rather you be upset at the delay now instead of us putting the game out and you don't buy it anyway. Because yes, there is a possibility they could have brought out the game and the multiplayer alone had been able to sustain it, right? But then you might also have an issue where the sales are so low that even when the multiplayer does prop it up a little bit, it might not get propped up as much as you want, just due to the fact that some people just won't buy it because the visuals aren't where they believe that they should be, right? So instead of even dealing with that shit at all, give it extra time and try to make it look better. They know what their fucking target is. Their target is the fucking graphics that they showed for the reveal of Terry Crews. That's what the fuck they need to be aiming towards. I don't know if they'll get there, but that's where they need to be aiming towards. If that's what their thinking is I mean, I'm assuming that's what people have told them, you know, in multiple circles. Like, we expected it to look, you know, how it did in the, I think it was the Gamescom in 2015, and you know where you did the Terry Crews unveil. We expect it to look more like that, something closer to the lines of instead of the original. I mean, closer to the lines of instead of like a regular cell shaded game, similar to kind of how they have with Agents of Mayhem, right? Agent of Mayhem looks like a pretty solid game. It's not as cell shaded as, I don't know if it's just well, Agents of Mayhem looks cartoony, but I don't know if it's necessarily cell shaded. But I think that's where they're trying to progress towards, right? So, you know, that could be mainly what they're trying to do. But then you got PUBG, like I said before. PUBG is huge. And the problem is, if they release PUBG at the same time or around the same time as releasing Crackdown, with the popularity of PUBG, it might like physically devour Crackdown sales. And especially if you're promoting both games, you don't want that. You don't want a Titanfall versus Battlefield scenario, right? As good as Titanfall 2 was, whether or not I like the multiplayer or not, as good as the game was, it got eaten alive by Battlefield. EA makes both of those motherfuckers, but it got eaten alive by Battlefield, where they could have easily pushed Titanfall to the same position as Microsoft is pushing Crackdown, and it would have sold a way better. Way fucking better. So to me, this makes a lot more sense. You know, people are always going to be upset at delays, especially gamers, because gamers don't give a fuck about when the game comes out, as long as it comes out when you told them to come out, right? I mean, shit, the game could come out if a game for a gamer comes out on the same day as another game, but they still want it. Like if Red Dead Redemption came out and Crackdown releases right on top of that, why they would do that, I don't fucking know. That seems crazy. But if they did, the gamer would still get both. But Microsoft wouldn't be looking at that as a good thing. Same thing that happened to Tomb Raider, even though it did sell whatever it sold a lot better than what it did on PlayStation, but still releasing on Fallout, even though I don't give a fuck about Fallout. So to me, I was cool with Tomb Raider releasing where it did, because I was like, yes, I want to play this game. It's awesome. I don't give two shits about Fallout. I never did, and I doubt I ever will, right? That's just not my type of game. But, you know, the shit is just like, you know, Microsoft had choices to make. I mean, I don't see it as being a bad thing. I see it as they had to do what they had to do. You know, you had hella criticism for the game. You know, there's a contingency out there saying that the game looks like shit. You know, and notice I would challenge you to notice this. The same people said that the game looked like shit are the same motherfuckers complaining about the game being delayed. The shit doesn't make any sense. Now, what I would say is Microsoft probably shouldn't find themselves in this position in the first place. That's what I do agree with. They should not find themselves in this position in the first place. They shouldn't have to, you know, wait until fans of Crackdown see the game to actually complain about, you know, the visuals of it. I mean, I wasn't particularly blown away with the visuals of the game. Yet even still, I was planning on getting the game because of what I knew it was going to provide with the multiplayer. Like, not every game I buy is visually stunning. It's just not. You know, I played Life is Strange. That game is not visually stunning. It is not. What the fuck else I played? Phantom Dust. I was just playing some shit not too long ago. Fuck. I can't remember. Saints Row 4. I played that. You know, even though it is 60 frames per second on Xbox, or something like that, or at least it feels like it. It's not a visually stunning game. It just plays well. But there's a lot of games. Voodoo Vince, which is hard, man. That was a hard game to beat. I didn't really, man. At least for me, man. The end of that game with the platform and shit. Oh man, bang my head against the floor with my controller. That shit was annoying. I kept on fucking falling off that damn bot. But anyway, they had a decision to make. I think they made the best decision for them, the best decision for fans. I wanted to get into this letter because, it kind of like just goes along with exactly what I was saying. Where does she say it? Wait, did I miss it? No. Here it is. All right, so it says the Xbox One X launch lineup will be one of the greatest lineups of games ever available for a major new console release, right? She's not talking about exclusives. God damn it. Fire people. She's not talking about exclusives. She's talking about games available for that console. See, that's the thing. That's one thing that people got to remember. Exclusives are great. Amazing. I love them. But guess what? People don't only buy exclusives. And we know what the holiday is. And PlayStation has done this for the last almost four holidays. They don't really release their major games in the holiday. They haven't done it. Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, Bloodborne, the fuck else? When they do their re-releases of God of War and The Last of Us, and I forget what other fucking games they got. Neo and all that shit. Shit's in the fucking spring. Even Nino Kuni, that shit they moved out of the holiday. I don't know how, I don't know. I don't know shit about that game, so whatever. But they did it to preserve it. Why they didn't do it to The Last Guardian, I don't know. Maybe they felt it didn't fucking matter because that game had a lot of issues, even though people gave it high scores regardless. I don't know, fucking who knows. But anyway, but yeah, Microsoft had to move it in order to from this lineup, man. You got Forza 7. All right, everybody's going to get that. Who has Xbox One X is the best looking game on the console. Then you have Cuphead. A lot of people have been waiting for Cuphead finally coming out. Then you got Super Lucky's Tale, a kid's game. So anybody who's buying an Xbox that has a child, more than likely will get them that game. So these three games, Cuphead, everybody could play. Super Lucky's Tale is more so a platformer for kids, but it's like a family game. So, if you got children, or you just a child at heart with, want to play some platformers, whatever the fuck, you have that game available to you. Then you have right here, it says, and the console launch exclusive of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Now, that just tells me that that's the replacement. Typically, this would have been Forza, Cuphead, Super Lucky's Tale, then Crackdown. But with Crackdown out the way, because they said it was coming, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds was coming during the holiday. They didn't say when, but I'm assuming it's going to come around the heels of, probably around the time that the Xbox One X launches. That's just my prediction. That's what I just feel. I think it's going to probably be within the launch area, if not the day of, maybe, at the most a month later. But I believe it's going to come out the holiday. I think they want to capitalize on the popularity of that game, and to me, it's extremely popular now. And if you push it during the holiday, I don't know if they're going to make it a full exclusive. They might just keep it as I don't know preview program or whatever. I don't know how they're going to sell it. But I don't. You know what? It shouldn't be a hard sell, because to be honest, Ark Survival sold 1 million in a month. 1 million. And nobody, granted, there are people that are fans of Ark. I bought it myself, right? it's not a game for everybody. It's not easily jumped in for everybody. I mean, I think the thing that makes Ark a hard sell is the constant eating and drinking shit that you have to do with that game. That to me, that just makes it a very annoying game. I never really get to the part of the dinosaurs and explore. Yes, people battle through it and do all that shit, and they built all this crazy shit, and they got like a world within a world. It's, you know, it's nuts. But you know, you gotta focus and put in a lot of time just to really even get to that point. And yet and still they sold 1 million in a fucking month. Like that's insane, especially for a game of that type. So you're telling me, and that game's popularity was nowhere near the popularity of fucking PUBG. So if Ark Survival could sell 1 million in a month on Xbox, not 1 million in a month on PC and Xbox, 1 million in a month on just Xbox, what the fuck is PUBG going to do? I don't know, but Microsoft probably has the data and was looking at it and saying, you know what? Fuck it. The shit is hot. We got to run with it. So to me, that's one of the other factors that really helped them decide to push Crackdown. You know, I mean, especially if like it's like you don't want to take a game and launch it and then afterwards patch it with like oh, I want to patch it with the 4K, even though it probably already had 4K being prepped to be patched. It's like if you're gonna update the graphics, you might want to do that before it launches rather doing it after. You know, I'm just saying. But yeah, so those are all the main exclusives. You got Forza, Cuphead, Super Lucky Tales, and Player Unknown Battleground, which is a console exclusive. Then it comes down to your multiplats. You have Middle Earth Shadow of War, Assassin's Creed Origins, Call of Duty World War II, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Destiny 2, and I don't even know. And it just says more, and I don't even know what else is fucking coming out in the holidays. Some other shit. All right. And the thing is, that's a lot of fucking games. You know, a lot of people are gonna get Destiny 2. A lot of people are gonna get Star Wars Battlefront 2. A lot of people are gonna get Call of Duty 2. Those are 3 games alone that make buku money. Aside from the people that are gonna go buy GTA 5 again, or maybe not again, but for the first time. I don't know. The bitch always sell. I don't know if it sells because motherfuckers they buy it, then they trade the bitch in, and then they buy it back. I don't know, but the shit always sell, right? Then you got Assassin's Creed Origins, which is awesome. And then you have Shadow of War. Now, 2 very, you know, open world third-person games and very different, right? So therefore, they justify each purchase of both. You know, Shadow of War does certain things, and then Origin does certain things. And you have people that really enjoy both, or some people that enjoy one or the other, whichever. But you have a plethora of games right there. Aside from the exclusives, just the multiplats alone, you have a plethora of games. So Microsoft is covered. I mean, shit, they have 4 exclusives coming out in the holiday. They push Crackdown to the spring, so therefore nobody's gonna complain about a fucking drought come next year. There is no time for a drought. You get fucking first you got to realize you got all those 42 games with I guess 22 exclusives. I think it was, I don't know, but the indies, you got all those fucking indies that Microsoft has console exclusives. So it was the first fucking one, right? So you got all these exclusives coming out from probably January all the way up until April, around, or I don't know, it might be even later than that, because your major titles are Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, and then Crackdown. I don't know how they're going to shuffle the order. I still believe Sea of Thieves goes first, then State of Decay probably second, but then they might push. I don't know, but either way, those are your 3 main titles. And then in between that, you're going to have, at some point, you're going to get Ashen closer to closer to E3, because I know it says it was April or spring or whatever. You have The Last Night, looks like an incredible indie. You have I forget the name of that game that's like not Fortnite, but something project, I forget. The dude with the doing that where they had the shoutcaster at E3, I forget the name of it, but they have that game. They have what the fuck else was it? It was a bunch of shit, man. There was just so much shit. Oh, I can't remember, man. It's too many games. But there's a lot of shit, right? And oh, that guitar game too. The dude where he was like on ecstasy or some shit, and he was fucking playing the guitar, running around and doing wild shit. You know, they have a bunch of those little games, so you have a nice balance of indies. You have a nice balance of your, you know, AAA exclusives. You have your open world action game, like action adventure game with Sea of Thieves. You have your survival horror action game with State of Decay. That's third person. And then you have your open world third person action shooter with Crackdown. Oh, Cold Vein. Yep, there you go. Cold Vein. Forgot about that shit too. There's Cold Vein, and there's another game, Desert something. Desert, I forget. I think it's one of those free-to-play type games. And actually, you know what? That's another Korean game, if I'm not mistaken. They're doing a lot of fucking Korean deals in South Korea. Because I think that's where PUBG is too. I think PUBG developer and the Desert, Dark Desert, Black Desert, whatever the name of it, developer is also in South Korea. So Microsoft, I mean, Phil Spencer did go out there, Black Desert Online. Yep, there you go. They went out there and they got a lot of deals, right? So I'm like, hey, man, do your thing. Do your motherfucking thing. But like I said, man, the Crackdown thing, yes, it's sad. I wanted to play it as soon as possible. But, you know, if they're going to push it back to give me the better game, then I'm cool with it. Especially on top of all these other games I got to play anyway. Like in previous podcasts, we and just people tweeting me in general, it was like, what game are you going to play first? And the thing was, it was like, shit, there's so much shit to play. I don't even fucking know. But now that this Crackdown has been moved and I have some breathing room, now it gives me a little bit more time to fucking think. But anyway, man, this is a good convo. Let me go up in the chat, see who's up in here. Saying what's up to Kurt. Well, saw him up in there earlier. Halo Storm, Fuzzy Belvedere, what's up? Let's see. Halo Storm, Xbox One X is going to rely on multi-platform, which makes sense to me. Yeah, it's that. I mean, to be honest, anybody who's getting the Xbox One X should be getting it to have the better multi-plats. I mean, because right now, to be honest, visually, none of the first-party exclusives outside of Forza, Halo, and Gears are really going to like drop your jaw. You know, even when they polish up Crackdown, I don't know if it's going to be overly, above and beyond. Yeah, it'll look better because it's in 4K and all that shit. Yeah, I get it, but it's still going to look cartoony. They're not going to turn around and make it look like Uncharted. You know, that's not happening. I mean, they're going to have it try to aim for that, you know, that look of where they had it at Comic-Con, but aside from that, it's still going to look like a Crackdown game. So yeah, it makes sense to me too. Kurt, I'm not disappointed. I got delay. Every disappointment is for a good reason. It will be good when it finally comes out. Yes, I agree. Fuzzy Belvedere, Sea of State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, and possibly Halo 6 and Forza Horizon 4. Yo, well, that's gonna be a nice lineup for next year. I don't know about Halo 6 though. I don't know. I think Anthem comes out next year, to be honest. So they might not be in a rush to put out Halo 6 yet. They might do the demo though. They might do that demo like they do, like they did for Halo 5. You know. Let's see. Petaway. This game looks like shit. I'm not buying it. Later, it's delayed. It's over for X1X. Huh? Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, but like I said before, you got people chiming in. Number one that said, why the fuck you even need an X buy a PC, right? Then they say Crackdown is shit. Then they say Crackdown is delay why you need to buy X. It's like, hold up. You already said why you need to buy X to play Crackdown in the first place, because you already said it looked like shit, and you could already look like that on the 1S. So how the fuck it being delayed to get polished, detracts from your reason of going to get the 1X? That doesn't even make any sense. But I don't know. Halo Storm, I criticized Sony's E3 for showing games not coming this year. I'm doing the same for Microsoft. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, because to be honest, yes, they do have some games coming this year, but they're not the games that we expected, right? Let's keep it funky. Other than Cuphead and Forza, we expected, State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, and Crackdown to come out this year. Now, that's a lot of fucking games. And to be honest, if those games came out this year, as much as I would love to play those games, Microsoft would be in a repeat of what happened this past year. Because imagine if Microsoft kept Crackdown this year, State of Decay was also still this year, and Sea of Thieves was also this year, along with Forza, Cuphead, and Super Lucky Tales, and whatever the fuck else, right? That's a lot of games that you have pushed all to the holiday, right? And then you have all the multiplats on the holiday. So then when it came to the springtime or late fall, early spring, you're talking about you only have the indies, right? And those indies are great. They are. But by themselves, they're not going to hold that much weight because most of those games aren't long. The thing that really helped out PlayStation is they have a lot of those third-party deals, which Microsoft they don't have as of yet. They just don't. They get a lot of stuff that comes way of Japan for whatever reason. They just do. Microsoft isn't a Japanese company, not to say that they can't go over there and get some of those games. Obviously, they got the marketing for Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighters, right? But that in itself was a shock. That's not something typical of what they get. Maybe they're going to have to look outside outside what they normally look for Asian games, because most Asian games come from Japan. So maybe that's why they're looking at China more and Korea more, because, dealing with the Japanese, as much as they try to, it's just a headache. They got to fight tooth and nail in order to get anything from them. And, with the Chinese and the Korean, not so much. So you might see a lot more PUBG type games and Black Desert and Candleman and whatever else is coming out from China and Korea and other bordering Asian countries out there that are gamers. You might see more of that shit, which isn't a bad thing. Because I just don't know with Japan. I don't know. Let's see. Proton Frog. First dislike. Okay. Halo Storm. Hopefully, I'm not counting on it. They got something up their sleeves, though it's really obvious. Yeah, they got something. They have something. But obviously, Microsoft isn't showing stuff off early. I think they really need to go back to the drawing board on that and find a balance. Like games that they know are guaranteed is fine to show off early. But look at Crackdown, right? A game like this, guaranteed. It's a Microsoft product. They have to, the difference between people saying that Crackdown getting delayed and a game like what's that fucking game? Fable Legends fundamentally wasn't fucking working. It wasn't that the game mechanics didn't work, and you could always fix that. You can fix the functionality of a game, but if the fundamentals of the game, meaning that the game itself just does not appeal to gamers, it just doesn't make sense to keep pushing for the game to come out when you know it's not going to, bring any revenue, especially if it's a game that's based on revenue stream. Look at not Arc Evolved. Look at Evolved. That shit we saw with all the microtransactions and all that shit. That shit was built in order to make money off of its online. Because it was basically an online game. I think it was on. I don't know if it was an only online game. I can't. I can't remember exactly if it was, but I remember majority of what that game was online, and the fact that it struggled was because of the fundamentals of the game. People didn't like fighting as just a monster versus, people, and vice versa. It just didn't always work. To me, it's something cool as a mode, but it's just not something fun to play all the time. Like I love playing Juggernaut in Halo, and that's basically what it is, except for you being a Juggernaut, you're ginormous. But when you're telling me that that's all Halo is just the Juggernaut mode, that's gonna get stale. It just is, Let's see who else is up in here. Halo Storm expansions. Expansions I'm good with, but we don't need what we already have. Fuzzy Belvedere. Me personally, I would like to see a Ninja Theory task to reboot Rise. Ooh, that might be cool. But see, I don't think Microsoft owns the IP. That's the problem. Let's see. Petty. In my opinion, they need to see if they can acquire some of these comic properties. Todd McFarlane got a Spawn movie coming. That's an exclusive right there. You know what? That wouldn't be a bad idea. It depends on how much it costs. See, the thing is, people look at the Spider-Man deal and say, "Oh, Microsoft has to do the same thing," but they fail to realize that Sony already owned it. So it was nothing that they had. They didn't have to go out and get the license to Spider-Man. They already had it. Their thing was just, getting the approvals from Marvel and Insomniac to do the game. So it was just not, it was a lot easier path for them. But I think Microsoft can do some stuff. They gotta pull into their bag of tricks, and figure some things out. I mean, stuff like the X-Men license, that's expensive. As much as I would love an X-Men game, I know that shit ain't cheap. I mean, that's just probably up there with trying to get like a sports license to do a baseball or basketball game or something like that, or doing like the football game. Let's see. Halo Storm Spawn could be awesome, but would take a lot of talent to do it right. Yeah, I agree. That shit is a lot of that. You have to. His cape is like a serious part of who Spawn is, and they got to do it to the point that it works well, and it doesn't look like awkward. Because as much as like Batman's cape is awesome, right? But it doesn't have like a personality of its own. It just moves as far as based on physics. But Spawn is a lot different, and kind of have to find that balance, especially in the video game. It's I don't know, it might be a challenge, but I mean, hey, they might be able to figure it out if somebody did try to do a video game. Me personally, I would say go for Deadpool. I think it would be something easier to do, and it falls along something more along the lines of what Microsoft Xbox is, with the shooters and all that stuff. I think it just, even though Spawn does have guns too, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. I don't know what the fuck is it. Cakeles Tasty. Shut your ugly ass up, you bum ass nigga. Okay. I don't know who put. No, it's an Avatar. But what? I don't know. Is this Final Fantasy? I don't know what game this is. Some like cartoon shit. I don't know. Let's see. Halo Storms. Microsoft needs to shut the fanboys up. They are trying to kill off Xbox. Yeah. You know what? Like, to me, like, Microsoft just needs to they need to just kind of focus on doing what they do. And yeah, they take their player feedback with a grain of salt. But to be honest, Microsoft needs to have it set up where if you don't have an Xbox account, like a paid for Xbox account, then you probably shouldn't be able to give feedback. I'm just saying. Like, me personally, like, they should have it where it's set up where on your Xbox, that's where you give your feedback, not on PC, because anybody can go in and make a PC. Like, to me, you're not invested if you're not paying money. You're just not. And that's the other thing. I don't think Play Anywhere should be available for all games. I don't think you should be allowed to do Play Anywhere unless you're a paid Xbox Live supported. Like, if you're not paying your 40 or 60 or whatever it is you're paying for Xbox Live per year, you shouldn't have access to Play Anywhere. Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be, like, to me, Play Anywhere should be available for all games if you have Xbox Live, right? Like, paid for Xbox Live. Now, if you don't, then Play Anywhere should be restricted to specific titles. And then obviously they'll have their own restrictions within the keyboard mouse, box of that. But to be honest, I don't think it should be available to everybody, especially if you're not paying for Xbox Live, because I don't, that's how you keep it as like, you can appease the people that say it's not exclusive. And yes, you're going to have people complain and say, oh, you're putting Play Anywhere behind a paywall. Microsoft is evil. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? It's not going to be every game. Like, maybe a game like Forza, because you have a high PC contingency there. Yeah, you keep that as open, right? You don't put it behind the paywall. Maybe a game like the little smaller titles that they do Play Anywhere on, you could do it like that, right? But if you're talking about games like Gears, anything they're talking about as far as their main staples, outside of maybe Forza, because Forza is really the only, PC game, as far as I know, that PC gamers actually play. Maybe they would play Halo, but then again, you can't really play Halo with PC gamers and Xbox gamers. This shit is a first-person shooter. This is a way unfair advantage, And Xbox fans don't want to be forced to have to play with keyboard and mouse to play a game that they love in Halo, and PC fans don't want to be forced to have to play with a controller to play the game either. So to me, it just makes it more sense to keep that shit separate, not even have that shit on there, period. So I don't know, certain games I just wouldn't do it. Like, look at Age of Empires. That shit's not coming to Xbox. So if that shit is a Windows 10 exclusive, then Xbox should also have its exclusives as well. Let's see. Gauntlet, just the title itself is killing my brain cells. Kevin Chin, I'm looking forward to Cold Vein. Yeah, man, that Cold Vein is sick. Oh, what's going on? Who's next? What's up? Kevin Chin, the only game that came out on PlayStation this year I want to play was Nier Automata. That's like a a Japan game, Japanese game. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's an alright game. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. Other Zinc, what's going on? Archie, what's good? So State of Decay is going to be crazy. I personally think it's the most important exclusive as of right now in 2018. Yeah, that game is going to be hot. I'm glad it's going to get it's in its slot. And it should be also receiving the polish that it deserves. I'm amped. I'm ready. I am ready for next year is going to be dope. Like the thing is like last year I didn't really play a lot of multiplayer because I had so many exclusives to play that I didn't play Mafia 3 when it came out in the last holiday. I didn't play Titanfall until recently. I didn't play what else? I didn't play what's the other game that came out? Damn, what else? Is it Just Cause? I forget. I think it's Just Cause 3 that came out. I didn't play that shit. I didn't play a lot of shit. Because I was just playing Gears and Forza. I played the shit out of Forza Horizon 3. I played the shit out of Forza Horizon 3. That shit is crazy, bro. Master Ruben from Morgan Days. I don't know what that means. But okay. Other thing, if Forza Motorsport 7 was delayed, I'd be hurt. Crackdown 3, no. Forza 7 is the game. Yeah, I couldn't see Forza 7. Like Turn 10 has it like that shit. They print games. I don't know. They know how much time they need. They know what to add, and yet all their games just are spectacular and they always add enough to justify the purchase of every single game they make. People that don't like, I don't even think there's people that don't like Forza. People that don't like Forza don't play Forza, to be honest. Like, you can't be like, oh, Forza's trash, but I can't wait for GT. Like, hell no. That shit is crazy. That's like saying, oh, Uncharted's trash, but I can't wait for that fucking Record. Like, what? The hell are you smoking? Like, look, I talk my shit about Uncharted, but I ain't on fucking drugs. Like, what are you talking about? This shit is crazy. Let's see. Master Ruben, Persona 5 is for pedos. Well, okay. Let's see. That's funny. Kevin Ching, what I don't understand is the game that released on PlayStation also released on PC. What is the problem with bringing it to Xboxes like Nier Automata? I don't know. I mean, it can't be that hard. They just said they was able to do, transfers in short amount of time, so it can't be that big of a deal. I just think that I don't know. To be honest, I don't know that. Who knows? They're probably just full of shit for right now. I mean, Nier Automata is technically a game. Like, if you want to know where Scalebound is, look at Nier Automata. That's where that bitch is. It's right there. There goes Scalebound right there. They took all that money. Platinum took all that money for Scalebound and put it into fucking Nier Automata. So, it's kind of fucked up because it's like, damn, you use all the money for Scalebound for Nier Automata, and then on top of it, you don't give Nier Automata to Xbox fans either. So it's like you hit us twice. Shit's fucked up. Granted, I'm not all that amped for Nier Automata. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just not amped for it. That's all. Let's see. Rohan Star 58. Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 3DS, PS4 all the way. I don't know. Thumbs up. I don't know. It was like there's a middle finger. I don't know what the fuck that is. I guess it's fuck Xbox. I don't know. The Nintendo Switch is cool, but to me, it's not for me, bro. That's like a handheld. I don't fuck with handhelds. Because graphically, it's not impressive enough to be considered a freaking console. It's a handheld. You know, it'd be a little different if you had a Nintendo 3DS and plugged it into it had an audio video cable and plugged it into your television. Like that shit is not, that's whatever to me. I don't find that impressive at all. And I don't really care about Nintendo games like that. Like to me, the sales of the Switch are, I mean, they're typical of what you would see with a Nintendo console. Like, I don't think you're getting any more than than expected, to be honest. Like, look at the sales of like the games on the what's that? The fucking Wii U. Wii U sold Mario Kart. That shit had like 8 million, and Pokemon Sun and Moon had like 13, 14 million on the Wii U, right? That's the Wii U, the fucking failed console. That bitch right there, the Wii U. You know, they damn near sold. So they sell like damn near 80% of their games to their consumers. But then again, you got to look at what, you know, who they're selling to. Majority of you got a lot of diehard Nintendo fans, and you have children. And I think the thing that people a lot of times forget about with Nintendo is there are parents out there that will not buy their kids an Xbox or PS4 because they do not feel that they want to have them accessible to the content on those boxes. The Nintendo is mainly a childlike console, right? Like they don't have any real mature titles that I can really think of. You know, Link is probably the most mature shit they have. Like even when they did have mature titles, they were just far in between. They might have had like 3 or 4. You're talking about on the lifespan of a console. I'm not talking about like for the year. I'm talking about for the whole generation. They might have had 3 or 4 like actual, you know, mature games for adult gamers only. You know, even though children play those things too, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, you'd be surprised. You talking about an evangelical type family, somebody like super hardcore Christian or super hardcore religious. I don't want my kids subjected to this, that, and the third. All right, they're gonna buy a Nintendo Switch than an Xbox or a PS4 because they know Xbox and PS4 have mature titles on there. Even though Super Lucky's Tale is on Xbox and PlayStation has Ratchet and Clank and other shit like that, they're looking at what game console has the most childlike content. It's Nintendo. And people complain and say, well, Nintendo doesn't have that, you know, they only have this many exclusives, they don't have a lot of third-party support. That shit doesn't matter to somebody who's buying a console for a child, because a child is only going to get a certain amount of games per year anyway. That's why their numbers are so high with their content, because they're people who are buying the Switch are buying it specifically for the Nintendo games, right? That's why their games sell. When somebody buys a PlayStation, somebody could buy a PlayStation and not buy a single PlayStation exclusive ever and still enjoy every game on that console. And the same thing can be said about Xbox. But there's nobody buying a Nintendo Switch that doesn't like Nintendo games. That should have never happened. Like nobody in the right mind is going to buy a Nintendo Switch that says, I can't stand fucking Mario. That shit is never, ever going to happen. Like the thing is funny is like when people come up to me and was like, well, why would you buy, you will buy Super Lucky's Tale, but you won't buy Nintendo Switch. Bitch, I'm not buying the Nintendo Switch to play Mario. That's $300 to play one fucking game. If Mario was on Xbox, fine. I'll fucking buy it. But I'm not paying $300 to play fucking Mario, especially because I'm not a fucking kid. I could play other shit. I don't need to just play Mario. When I was like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, I didn't have many choices. I didn't have any kind of fucking cash flow. I was only privy to the games that my parents paid for. Yeah, I would have been content with just playing Mario for the next fucking year and a half or however the fucking long until my next game, right? But I'm an adult. I don't have to deal with that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, so Nintendo is popping right now because you have the hardcore, and that's who's really buying that shit right now. You have the hardcore and some kids. You know, their kids' birthdays are coming up. You know, oh, Mom, it's my birthday. I want a Nintendo Switch, please. Because guess what? Guess why I don't see the Nintendo Switch advertised? I don't see them advertised on any adult channels. I don't see it advertised on any sports channels. You know where they advertise? Nickelodeon, fucking Disney Channel. That's where the fuck that shit is advertised. So it's for a child. Yes, adults can play it. It's not means that just because kids play the Nintendo Switch, you can't go buy it as an adult and you gotta, you know, be shunned. No, you can play it if you want. If you like Zelda, and I have friends that love fucking Zelda. They love Zelda. I never got it, but they love fucking Zelda to death, you know, and they will buy a Nintendo Switch just to play the next Zelda because it's just ingrained in their psyche. But guess what? There's nothing, I don't have an attachment like that. Like all the shit that I liked as a kid, Sonic, Mario, all that shit, I don't fuck with that shit no more. Sonic Mania came out and I didn't really give a fuck. I was like, all right, I played Sonic before. I know people are like, oh, well, it's better because I'm like, dude, it looks the same. It's not even polished. But that's me. That's me. Like, to me, I already played those games. You know, and maybe, I don't know, maybe if I'm fucking bored, I ain't got shit else to do. But look, it's almost September. I got the new Recore, what is it, fucking enhanced or whatever the fuck coming out. I'll go get that shit in a week's time. Well, I think it might be free, so I don't even have to go buy it. I just download the patch or whatever. And then after that, I get Cuphead, and then I'm waiting for fucking. Well, I already have Cuphead, and then Cuphead is like the last game I buy. Maybe I'll get 2K. I mean, I'll get it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it day one. Because I didn't play the last one day one. Like, it depends. I gotta see. But you know, I'm waiting for the X. So I don't like. Yes, Nintendo's gonna sell well. I don't think it's gonna do bad. I think people that are gonna buy it for the kids are gonna buy it for the kids. But if you think the Nintendo is going to sell like the Wii, oh, you was sadly mistaken. You were sadly mistaken because all those little grandmas in it and people that never even played a game before, those motherfuckers ain't out there trying to check for no goddamn Wii. I have a friend that bought that shit for him and his girl to play tennis on. You know, they played it for like a month. For the rest for at least 2 years. This shit is crazy, yo. But a lot of people bought it. One, it was cheap. It's like it was like $200. You know, it ain't really, you know, and especially when at that time, you got to remember the economy was way up. Not that it's bad now, but I'm just saying at that time it was way up. Motherfuckers was getting paid. Nobody was laid off at that time. And then, you know, shit hit the fan a little bit later, but you know, people were just spending money. So they bought it for fucking Wii Sports and shit. That shit ain't happening again. Let's see. Let's see who. Oh, okay. Michael Luga, what's up, live? Who will care about Crackdown after the delay? Shit, I'm down with it. I mean, the delay doesn't mean as long as it looks good, man. That's what I'm looking at. Halo Storm on the star. I can't stand haters like you. Shut the fuck up already and go play your exclusives. Cakey, tasty, whatever the fuck. Xbox is a dumbass. What? I don't even understand. Xbox is a dumb ass niggas who like bestiality. All right. I mean, okay, that's all right. I don't know what you want me to say to that. Cyberman, he's like, they just here to trigger people. Just ignore them. You know, like Kate, Gears of War is fucking dogs. Crackdown is fucking cats. Yeah, bro, you're wild. But okay. Halo Storm, bro, they're such losers, yo. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna skip his comments. He's just saying the same shit over and over again. Shit weird. Let's see. Cyberman. I know, but in real life, they could cower like little bitches. So just ignoring them. Yeah, I mean, most of these guys that come here and troll, they're like disgusting motherfuckers, man. You know, they walk around, they smell like fucking dirty ass testicles and shit. You know, a lot of these people still complaining about what I said about fucking persona. Listen, man, if it doesn't apply, then let it fly. But obviously, I hit a nerve, and that's why I got a lot of backlash from the heavily influenced pedophilia segment of persona fans. People who don't understand probability. Look, man, all I said was there's a probability that people are pedos that like persona. That's all I said. That's not really thinking outside the box. That's just highly likely. Because guess what? I just said there are people. I didn't say that they're all of them. I didn't say it was most of them. I just said they are in there. There are some that are fucking petos. What do you want from me? And based on the content that they display, and people get hung up on the teacher shit. Yeah, the teacher's a pedo, bad guy, whatever. But you running around with little fucking girls and dresses and shit like that. You don't you don't see anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, I don't, let's not just act like, Japanese games don't have overly sexualized young female characters. I mean, can we not act like Sakura wasn't in Street Fighter with her dress always showing her panties when she was fighting? I'm just like, can we not act like this shit wasn't going on for like forever? Can we not act like beach volleyball doesn't exist? Can we not act like there's not a lot of fucking weird shit that goes on with certain Japanese games? I'm just saying, we know that in their anime it is also expressed as far as a lot of dealings with young teenage characters. Let's keep it 100. Just because the age of consent is younger over there doesn't mean that I have to accept it over here. I don't. If a fucking 13-year-old is messing around with a fucking 30-year-old man, but it's in a Japanese game, and you're telling me, well, the age of consent is 12, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to play it. That's it. That's the end of the fucking conversation. If I feel that the content is not what I want to consume, that is it. You can't come back to me and tell me that I should want to play it or I should respect it because it's another country and that's how they do shit there. Okay, motherfucker. If that's the case, then when motherfuckers go over there and shoot their wives in the Middle East, then you should be able to respect that shit too, because that's how they do shit over there. Okay, motherfucker. When motherfuckers decide to sew up the females' vaginas in certain countries to make sure that they're virgins before they're of the proper age or before they're married, then you should be content with that. No, I do not have to be okay with it. And that's what y'all motherfuckers have to understand. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. All right, but on to the next. What's going on? Cypherman, let's see. You know what? Let me. I'll read this. He's talking to Halo Storm. I see what when I'm talking about. These comments are like, what retards do when they don't take their Ritalin. Yo, man, it's just the crazy shit that you have to, it's what you got to deal with when y'all follow my channel. Unfortunately, I just, I got a lot of hater fans, I guess you would call them, especially off of this persona shit. They just can't let this shit go, bro. They can't let it go. We can agree to disagree. All right. But y'all, I tell you one thing: you better not have no mainstream article where it says some guy was watching Persona and then decided to go by school and did some wild shit. Oh hell no! Because best believe Livewire's gonna be all over that shit, talking about I told you motherfuckers, these motherfuckers was all over this game. I'm telling you. All right. Fall of Duty. Here are the facts. You are a jackass. I don't know what he's talking about, but okay. Let's see. I'm not reading it. You're just writing dumb shit. Halo Storm, bro. You don't see me on PlayStation channels trying to push an agenda. I don't know. I mean, I don't. You know, Halo Storm. They do not like the fact that you don't like what they like. You know, for a fact. Like they can say Halo is crazy, stupid, ugly, whatever all day. They can say Gears is the wackest looking game all day. They can say Forza is trash. They can say all this shit. But if you say that Uncharted is a garbage box pushing simulator, these motherfuckers will lose their minds. They can't deal. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Oh, no, that's the same guy. Rohan Star. What? Nonin new. Wow, Xbox has no games. Is it nothing new? I think it's supposed to be nothing new. Let's see. Fuzzy Belt. Wait, hold up. Somebody else wrote some shit. Okay, it's like you keep saying Xbox has no games. It somehow equates to Xbox having no games because you believe that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, they want it. I guess they figure they say it enough, then it'll become true. I don't know. Shit, you could buy Observer right now. You could buy Sonic Mania right now. You could buy Tacoma right now. You could buy, man, what's that other game that just came out? Fuck, I can't remember. Hold on. Actually, you know what? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I gotta wrap this up soon. I gotta make dinner. All right, let me get it. Let me go to the bottom. I'm trying to make sure I get everybody.
It's like a scavenger hunt, but a very serious one. More than 100 officers are trying to locate.
Get Duffy. Better think about your game. Are you? Oh shit. Get Duffy. Better think about your game. Are you sure your next move's the right one for you? Are you wait? What are you? Are you sure you want to get outmaneuvered again and again, my friend? I don't know what he's talking about. You'll never see it coming. You'll see that dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. What is this? I don't know. Next one. Other Zinc. Gears 4 is why I love Microsoft exclusives. Horde mode is the gift that keeps on giving. Actually, I was playing that shit yesterday with the Mooch and Def Jam Bam and oh shit, I forget. It's Moose Boy. Oh man, I forget his name. Damn it, slips my mind. But we was in there yesterday playing Horde mode. That shit is hot. That shit is hard. That shit hit the rent. I mean, they were looking at it and Kessler estimated that it hit about 5 million based on what the what's that shit? It's some kind of prestige badge or something that they have. So that's pretty cool. You know, a lot of people in the PlayStation community, like these fuckboys that are in the fucking chat, talking about it. It did less than 1 million. Oh, I know they was hurt when they heard that shit. Y'all was mad at Rand, huh? Y'all was pissed. fucking drummer boy downstairs going at it again, motherfucker. I just wish you'd stay on beat, man. Give me something to rock to. Brutal Saint, as a neutral man in the console world, I prefer PlayStation. That doesn't make any sense. That's like that doesn't make any sense. As a neutral man in the console world, I prefer PlayStation. Then you're not fucking neutral. There's no, you can't say that I prefer everything, but I prefer this specific thing. I don't prefer anything, but I prefer this specific thing. Like, that shit doesn't make any sense. I like all basketball players, but my favorite basketball player is Michael Jordan. I like all cars, but my favorite car is a Ferrari. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Either you're fucking neutral or you're not. Like, you can't be both. I'm a neutral gamer, and I like everything, but I love PlayStation more, so I guess I'm PlayStation neutral. Motherfucker. You know what? But to be honest, Brutal Saints, that's not your fault, because that's kind of where people have been pushed this whole generation. It's like, if you're a PlayStation fan, you could say that you're neutral. You know, maybe you might not hate on Xbox games, and that might be very true. I'm not saying that you're an Xbox hater, but you're not neutral, because a neutral has no preference. They just play the games and they like everything they play. Well, not everything, but you know what I mean. Like, they don't have a preferred platform. They just play the games and enjoy them. You know, they don't shit on one platform for this and not shit on. If they shit on a platform for having a certain issue, then they shit on the same other platform for having the same issue. That's what a real neutral is. A neutral is somebody who gives shit to both sides for, for equal amount of shit that they do. They don't just pick and choose what shit they get mad about. That's not a neutral. That's just saying you're neutral with being biased. Who is this? What the fuck? Am I tripping? What's all this shit? All right, hold up. Axeman, preach, bro. Yeah, man. You know, I got. Sometimes you gotta give it to these motherfuckers, man. They be wilding. Cypher, man, I'm still going to be playing Warframe around that time. Crackdown is just weed smoke. Man, you stay on that Warframe, bro. Jed Duffy. I'm trying to see if I can understand it. Is this the same shit? No, yeah, I went too far out. Oh, hold up. Rohan Star, Persona 5 is better than any Xbox One exclusive. That's the motherfucking 100% truth. All right. What do you want me to say? That's your opinion. All right, cool. Gauntlet. That title is pure lunacy. Sorry, live. Persona's the first battle song. The Mooch is a pussy ass bitch. Proton Frog. How would you know? You don't even fucking talk to Mooch. I'm just saying, like, how would you even fucking know? You don't even know Mooch to even talk. Whatever. Brutal Saints. I don't say that the Xbox is bad. I just say I like its content. Let's see. Jed Duffy, and as you look to the what the fuck, yo, y'all reading this shit that this motherfucker's writing? I don't know what the hell. This is like some code shit. And as you look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather caught you cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere all around you. It's not quite what you foretold. I'm like, what? I don't like. Why is this dude writing weird ass Shakespeare up here? Yeah, I'm fucking dumb. Man, shit crazy. I don't know. I don't even. That's a first for me. I don't know. Holy shit. Holy, this is Cake Tasty. I only shitting on Xbox players. Apparently, your vision people who play Persona 5 are pedos. Sir, I've said for the 100th time, I said I don't believe everybody who plays Persona 5 is a pedo. I believe that there are pedos that play Persona 5. That's what I said. I didn't say everybody. I said there are some. All right? That's what I've said over and over and over again. I said there are some. Guess what? There are pedos that play a lot of games. It's not just Persona, but I do believe that more people that are pedos play Persona than fucking any other game. And that may not be true. There might be more pedos on Call of Duty just based on the sheer numbers. Right? I'm just saying. Like, you don't have to fucking agree. I just believe that the content that they have just caters towards somebody who's more of a pedo based on the young girls and all that other weird shit that they have on there. You know, you might not agree. You'd be like, oh, I'm a high school kid and I play this and I should be able to play. Look, I understand that you're a high school kid. It makes sense, right? You like it, whatever. Fuck, I'm not saying you could be a 70-year-old man playing fucking Persona and love the shit out of it. I'm not saying because you like it, you're a fucking pedo. I'm just saying people that tend to play it might have some pedo shit that they like about it. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not even saying most. I'm just saying there are some people that might like it because of the pedo-ish nature of it. That's all I'm saying. All right? That's all I'm saying. All right, let's see. Brutal Saints. I'm not in any side. I don't have any attachment to any console. I just like more the PlayStation for its legacy. All right. Jed Duffy. People that play Crackdown are pedos. All right. There's nobody playing Crackdown right now, so I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. Let's see. Halo Storm. What's wrong with y'all weirdos in the chat? There's a special bunch. Sub-Z-Net Marketing. What up, live? Moon Knight, 1984. Explain PUBG. Yeah, I just went. What the fuck is this phone? All right. Yeah, my thing was about PUBG was I was saying that Microsoft had an easy. I'm not saying that Microsoft specifically pushed Crackdown just for PUBG. They might have still pushed it anyway. I'm just saying that PUBG's popularity and the fact that Crackdown was getting criticized made it an easier decision for Microsoft to push PUBG. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. So the fact that PUBG is so popular and is getting all the love that it is, Microsoft just was like, look, man, we might as well just push this thing to the forefront and then just push Crackdown to the spring of 2008, let it get polished up, and then move on from there. So it says the Switch is gold. The Switch is cool. I mean, what do you want me to say about the Switch? The Switch is cool. It caters to people that want a handheld. Like, if you have a need for a handheld, then the Switch works for you. Like, there's nothing I can really say bad about the Switch, All right, let's see. Halo Storm, he said, Rohan, shut up, you. Shut up, you are a cornball. Let's see. I don't know what all these fucking horses mean. I guess it's ponies. I don't know. All right. Cakey Tasty, whatever. All right. I believe there are dog fuckers who play Gears of War and want to play Crackdown. So read that. How does that make you feel? I don't feel anything. Like, it's, why should I feel anything about that? Like, I don't know anybody who's a dog fucker. Like, so, like, I'm not a dog fucker myself, so I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, you saying that all people who like Gears of War are dog fuckers. Like, I don't care, bro. Oh shit, hold up. I didn't know fucking Madden came out already. Hold up. I gotta put that bitch on. I gotta put on my. I just saw 100s playing fucking Madden. I put that shit on. I'm gonna still get trashed, but you know, I still want to download it. Where's my store at, bitch? Take me to my EA. No, bitch, no. Actually, you know what? Let me go this way. Let's see. It might be up there. It is not. Wait, is it? Oh, here it is. Demo. Let me get that. I'm doing the game trial. Give me game trial. Game trial, game trial. What does it say? Game trial. Fuck that, no. Game trial, bitch. Where's that at? Oh, no. I got. I'll do this shit later. This shit's acting fucking. Alright, anyway. Let's see. Brutal Saints, I understand that you have problems in YouTube because you are arguments, but humans make mistakes, and your mistakes is that you said something at the wrong place in the wrong time. I don't give a retraction, and I don't really think it was a wrong statement or anything. I don't feel any type of way about it, to be honest. I don't think anybody should feel any type of way about it. I think that people who are Persona fans that are fucking pedophiles are salty. Other people that aren't don't give a fuck. That's the way I feel about it. Like, this dude just said that people that play Gears are dog fuckers. I don't give a fuck. Shouldn't, like, why would I care? Should like, why? Like, yeah, unless I'm a dog fucker, why would I be offended by that? Like, I don't like that's my whole point on the whole matter. Is people getting super sensitive about something I said that shouldn't even apply to them, unless it applies. And that's what the problem is. I think it applies, and that's why they're upset. Who's next? Fucking dumb idiots in the chat. Shit you weirdos say in the chat makes everyone think that you have no sense. Well, Lord, I mean, one dude was giving out crazy poems and shit. That shit was crazy. He said, Cyberman is shaking my fucking head. Let's see. Who else is up in here? Petaway is up here saying, I never see Xbox guys trolling PlayStation sites or pages, but that's maybe because I don't bother to go. Dude, fucking PlayStation chats and those shits are boring, bro. They are fucking boring. Like, I swear to God. Like, the only one that's mildly entertaining is Weapon Wheel. Literally, that's the only one I've heard that's mildly entertaining. Because, to be honest, most of the shit that they talk about on PlayStation, I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. Once they stop talking about Uncharted and fucking and shit like that, they lost me. They start talking about this anime shit, I'm gone. I can't even. It's like they're speaking fucking another language. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's see. All right, man. This has been fun, and you know, I'm glad to hear y'all thoughts on Crackdown, man. It's like I said, you know, it's not the end of the world. It sucks, but you know what? With good news, PUBG, you know, came out, and we're gonna get that sooner than I anticipated, because I thought we were gonna get that shit maybe almost next year. if not next year. So the fact that Sharon Lofty is saying that we're getting it, you know, sometime this holiday is awesome. I can't wait. You know, and so one of my thoughts on Bloodborne. Bloodborne's fine. I'm not a Souls fan. I don't like those games at all. But I mean, I get it. People like those games. I mean, it is what it is. I don't look. I don't have a problem with PlayStation games. I give them shit, but that's what I do, man. But I don't really care. Like I don't. Like look, The Last of Us is a good game. Fucking Uncharted, good game. Like most of the shit that I give PlayStation games isn't based on just the fact of whether a game is good or bad. It's the lack of fairness in way their games are reviewed. That's where I have my issues. It's not like people jump the gun and always give PlayStation games a perfect score without really reviewing the game. Like that's to me, that's the issue. Or they'll only review what they want to review. Like if a game has multiplayer and story, they only review the story or they only review the multiplayer. It depends on whatever is the best aspect of that PlayStation game is where they focus their attention. Whereas the Xbox game, they always focus their attention on whatever the weakest part is. Why that is, I don't know. The best reviewed game is Forza, and it had Forza really had no weaknesses to really try to pinpoint. And I'm not saying that the Xbox games that are weak shouldn't be called out. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I like fairness. That's all. Like if you're gonna call it fair. Like I hate watching sports games and like a basketball game or a football game or a baseball game where you're like, yo, is the umpire or the ref blind? Like, why is he calling offsides on this one team, but this motherfucker is stepping over the line every single time and he's not saying shit? Like, what the fuck is going on? Or this dude is getting away with ticky tack hits and he's not saying anything, or this guy's fouling or whatever. Like to me, that's where my issues lie. It doesn't lie in the game itself. It lies in the reviews and the aspect in which people look at the game. Man, Oconix, Crackdown 3 is getting delayed because it needs visual polish. I don't disagree with that. I'm not saying I never said that it doesn't need visual polish. I'm just saying that, and that very well might be the main reason why it's getting delayed. I'm just saying as far as PUBG coming up and taking its spot is because of the rise of PUBG made it easy for Microsoft to delay Crackdown. Because of two things. One, they felt it needed polish, and two, because even if they released it, it might have got cannibalized by PUBG anyway. So to prevent it, getting hit with the double whammy, because if PUBG was successful but Crackdown dies, that doesn't help you because one, PUBG is not a fucking a first party exclusive. It's just a console launch exclusive. It's no different than if PlayStation launched Rocket League right next to fucking Drive Club, and Rocket League, yeah, they got sales on Rocket League, but Rocket League freaking devoured Drive Club. I mean, granted, I know Drive Club is a bad example because the studio went down, whatever. But I'm just saying, if it was a decent game, right, it would suck because Rocket League would have devoured it, and that's a situation that you really don't want to have to deal with, especially with the popularity with the game. So uh, the Halo Storm, Bloodborne is all right. Hopefully, they make a part 2. Final One State of the Gate is being slept on, in my opinion. Yeah, I just think that the people that played the first one are interested. The people that didn't don't know what it is yet. It's hard for them to get hyped for something they don't understand quite yet. Let's see. Um, It said Brutal says, I would like to see you playing any Souls game. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen, bro. I just don't have I don't have the patience. I barely got through Shadow of War. I mean Shadow of Mordor. It took me a year to even put my mind around how I should I didn't want to play the game the way it was meant to be played. Like Shadow of War, you have to freaking do missions and you gotta farm. I did not want to do that shit. I just wanted to finish the game and just move on. It wasn't until that I gave in and said, fuck it, I'm just gonna play the game. I was sick for like 2-3 days a couple weeks back, and I was talking to Showstopper, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta play the game. You gotta play the game." So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go back in and play the game." But I'm gonna just play it. I'm gonna just do all the missions, all the side missions first, and then I'll do the main missions. And then doing it that way, and doing all the little trophy hunts and all that stuff, doing it that way made the game fun because I had all the abilities because I bought everything, But when I was trying to just rush ahead and do it, it's just it's just not that type of game you could do it, and that's the way I was trying to play it initially, and it was extremely frustrating trying to play it that way because I couldn't beat anybody because I was just too damn weak. Certain games I'll run in and I'll be like, you know what, I want to do all this farming shit, and now I want to be OP, so when I go to the thing I'll just kick ass. And the other games I try to rush through, and certain games you just can't play that way, and I think that's why certain reviewers give games the scores that they do because depending on your mood, you might have multiple games. You're like, fuck it, I just want to go play through this game and just beat it, right? I don't really give a fuck about trying to do all this extra shit. But if the game doesn't allow you to do it, then you might become frustrated with the fact that you can't do it that way and give it a lower score than what it actually deserves if you were actually interested in playing the game, which sucks, but it happens. Let's see. This is cake tasty, whatever. How the fuck you know how they reviewing the game if you never fucking playing, bro? What are you talking about? I'm just talking about games I know I fucking play. I'm not talking about fucking like Bloodborne or some shit. And I know enough people that have PlayStation games, including my brother, to know. I don't own a PlayStation not because I don't think it's worth anything or blah. I don't have the fucking time. I have enough games on Xbox I need to fucking beat, let alone fucking PlayStation games. And it's just not enough there to really warrant me to buy it yet. At least not yet. I mean, I would like to play Spider-Man. I don't really give a fuck about God of War. Not that God of War is a shitty game. I was just never a God of War fan. Last of Us looks okay. I've played a bit of it before, but it's okay. I don't, it's not doing anything I haven't seen before. And granted, I might have played it later. So at that point, everybody then did everything that it's almost like I saw the movie Scream well after. Actually, I saw the movie Scary Movie before I actually saw the movie Scream. So when you watch Scary Movie, a spoof of Scream, before you actually see Scream, when you watch the movie, you're just like, this is what everybody was hyped up about. I don't fucking get it. It's whatever, But in the moment of when it was popular, that's when that movie was the shit, right? So that's how I feel about The Last of Us and fucking, Uncharted when I played it. I didn't play it when they were popular. I played them a year or two later when they were just they weren't doing any. I mean, those games are old. Nothing was special about what they did. The story was cool, but the mechanics of what I was doing, what I was playing, there was nothing interesting as far as game mechanics at all in Uncharted or fucking Last of Us. I've done shit like that before those games. In Splinter Cell, I threw rocks and bottles and shit in order to get people's attention. So that's not even and that was in 2002, 2003 when fucking OG Xbox and shit. So to do that again in fucking The Last of Us was okay, I've done this before. I mean, that to me, that's how The Last of Us felt. It felt like playing a Splinter Cell game, sort of. Like the shooting was nowhere near as good, but it was like playing a Splinter Cell game with fucking instead of like enemies with guns, was zombies. That's really what it. I mean, even though you did have some enemies with guns, obviously, but it was like playing a Splinter Cell game. That's how I felt. You know, and not the newer one, but the older ones, the ones that kind of penalize you a little bit heavier for getting caught, because when they surround you, you can't really fire your way out of it. Like the Blacklist, you just kind of able to, if you had the right weaponry with you, you can fuck motherfuckers up on some real shit. But in the older ones, especially when your main gun was like the silence, the pistol with the silencer on it, that shit would be hard shit to deal with. All right, man, but what? But yeah, anyway, man, this is your boy Live Wire. I'm gonna have to go, man. Gotta get ready. Yeah, get something to eat, man. Fucking getting drowsy and shit. I might take me another nap. I think Moose is trying to play another fucking horde mode tonight. I was tired as shit last night trying to play that shit. My eyes was damn near closed. I was like, I hope they don't notice that I'm fucking standing in this goddamn corner over here. I'm fucking sleepy. But now I'm a little charged up now. And so we'll see, man. But anyway, this is your boy Live, man. Good hanging out with y'all. And yeah, I can't wait till Crackdown comes out next year. Cool. But guess what? Hell yeah, we got hella games to come out. And PUBG is coming out this holiday. So I will see y'all on that shit. Run out with my crew. Hopefully we don't get killed first all the fucking time, because I know that bitch is brutal. But anyway, this is your boy Live, and I'm out this motherfucker. Peace.